The book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, and verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in power. Civil war. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the house shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. The book of Second Esdras, chapter 16, and verse 33. The virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms, the women shall mourn having no husbands, their daughters shall mourn having no helpers, and the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Hawashai, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect that seeking to be the elect of the nation of Israel. They're scattered abroad amongst the heathen, some looking like the heathen. Beginning with the 144,000 preachers, teachers, and prophets. Shalom. I got this video right here by Kim Iverson. I'll put the link of this video in the description box. She put it up an hour ago. And it's titled Military Draft Rules Change as Iran War Ramps Up. Now, she went into how, was it last year? We reported on that men and immigrants between the ages of 18 and 25 will automatically register for the draft, right? That takes effect December of this year, right? Which I believe that draft is going to come before the end. That's what I believe. You know, things are heating up. They already talking about putting boots on the ground, and it's reports that they already got boots on the ground, and we already covered that. You know, when you got boots on the ground, you already know them guys dying, man. So they need bodies, all right? So they can start drafting some, all right? So, yeah, the military draft rules change as Iran war escalates, all right? So the draft is going to come, all right? Remember, the military is already short, all right? The morale is down, been down for like 3 or 4 years now, all right? People are not signing up. People can't pass the physical training test or none of that, all right? Health bad. People have mental issues. And on top of that, again, people are just not fit and people are just not signing up, right? So it's going to be a draft. Now, there's going to be a civil war, all right? And there's so many things that are going to contribute to the civil war. And as we read in 2 Esdras 15 and 19, that the lack of bread, which goes into famine, lack of resources, is going to be a part of it. Tribulation, meaning hardships and afflictions, hey, that's going to be a part of it, all right? And this military draft could be a part of it when they start drafting, all right? And you have no doubt, these people going to go crazy, man, all right? You ain't taking my son. Hey, they could possibly draft your daughters. We hope they do, all right? You know? Because they're full of pride. Remember, y'all women independent. Y'all the prize. Y'all don't need no man. Right? Making silly TikTok videos, playing around. You know? Y'all call the shots. Y'all rule the household. You know? But anyway, yeah, this will add to the civil war. All right? This will add to the chaos. And as we read in 2 Esdras 16, 33 and 34, how the women are not going to have men. And that the women that do have men, they're going to die in the wars. You see that? They're going to die in the wars. So the men that's there are going to die, right? And they're going to need a what? It's going to have to be a draft, all right? Having women over here single, that's what Isaiah 4:1 going to kick in, all right? 7 women shall cleave unto one man. That's the Israelite man, a man ain't how about Shema Shai. Y'all women gonna cleave to protection, cause you gonna want that be up underneath that safe haven, man. That's when y'all gonna get in order. Remember, when they were talking about the draft the last time, all you women was doing videos talking about you're a trad wife, meaning a traditional wife. Then they pulled it back. Then y'all right back to living your best life and what they call it, soft girl era, some junk y'all call it. They got so many stupid names. Y'all were right back doing the same foolishness y'all were doing. So Yahweh Shema Shai was showing you all that you weren't sincere. Alright? But we got this video right here by Kim Iverson. His military draft rules change as Iran war ramps up. And remember, hey, they already planning to put these troops out in April 2026 in all 50 states. And she's going to play clips of head self answering that question, and she's going to pull up an article. All right, and she's also going to pull up a video of Trump saying, "Hey, who wants to have a war?" Now he's the one that's pushing the war. Now he's the one that's involved in the war. All right, so hey, you see the times that we are in, man. All right, so you're sitting around playing around. Hey, you teaching false doctrine. You done took the bag. Hey, man, how about Shema Shai? I got major judgment coming for these folks, man. And then you guys that took the bag, shit. Hey, how about Shema Shai? If you of age to get drafted, don't think how about Shema Shai won't make it so your ass get drafted. Because hey, you already turned against you how about Shema Shai. The Heavenly Father, Yahweh, through his only begotten Son's name, who is Yahweh Shai. All right. Now let's just play the clip. I'm gonna play up to the 15-minute and 46-second mark. All right. And again, I'll put the link to this video in the description box. If you want to watch the whole video. All right. Let's play this joint.
And that is why he's not on Fox News. Professor Zhang, he gives a new prediction that Trump will institute a military draft. And this is what he says the reason will be.
So let's look at some quick predictions.
Now this is his prediction. Now we read in the scriptures what's going to happen. Lack of bread and for tribulation. Now, remember we've always told you that so many things are going to contribute to the civil war. And this will be another one. This will be another situation that could add to it. All right. Remember, hey, everyone has a boiling point. All right. Now, Trump in America, Trump and the Trump administration done jumped up and got into an illegal war without notifying Congress. And these servicemen are getting killed. As a matter of fact, yesterday was 5 or 7 guys, U.S. servicemen, that was refueling the plane. It crashed. All of them died. So now they're starting to report a number of people dying and that's injured, which the numbers are severely low. You know it's a hell of a lot higher than that. In this war, man, in this illegal war. All right? And they don't feel sorry for it. They're telling you, hey, they're going to go on as long as they need to. That's what they signed up for. Hey, that's just the nature of war. If you haven't watched those videos with Trump and head self saying that, and the other clown looked like the Keebler Elf, who said hey, he's all for Israel. They don't care about you people, man. They don't care about their own people. Hey, we told y'all through the spirit of power, how about Shema Shai, the Esau don't give a damn about his own people, and we pull it out in the scriptures. All right? If he don't care for himself, Who the hell else he gonna care for? Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. It's in Ecclesiasticus. I think it's 14. See, hey, you Edomites have come to understand too. That hey, your own kind don't give a damn about you. Ecclesiastes Wadi Habah Shemam Shah. Ecclesiastes 14:5. He that is evil to himself, to whom he do good. You see? He shall not take pleasure in his good. So he evil to himself, his own people. So who the hell you think he gonna be good to? You see? You see that? So hey, and also the brother, the big brother out there from New York, he put up a video yesterday, GMS Watchman, going to the title, I think it was called, "This is how our brother Esau was living." How they were living in I'm talking about mansions, man, the nicest places, man. And the first thing that hit me in the spirit was these Edomites, the top 1%, so-called white people, are living it up, while you bottom tier Edomites living amongst us, the slaves. So y'all living amongst the slaves. We slaves. Us so-called Negroes, Native American Indians, Hispanics, Latinos, Jamaicans, Haitians. We are slaves. We are the captives. Okay, that this gospel is for. And you Edomites are amongst us, man. Y'all low level just like us. But we still hiding y'all because we the Israelites. And we superseding y'all. We still in a better situation than y'all. You say how? Because we got the same shit y'all got. Some of us got more stuff than y'all got. Credit better than some of y'all. And hell, we just look better. We just better than y'all all around. And we know how to deal with the struggle. And we in captivity. And y'all right beside us. Our credit, and we got just much stuff y'all got. But this y'all captivity though. I mean, this is our captivity and this is y'all rulership. So let that marinate. So why y'all ain't on top with the top 1%? Well, we live in nice neighborhoods. Newsflash, some of us live in nice neighborhoods. Right there beside you. Legal work, honest work. Top positions at jobs. We the smartest. Y'all just steal. You see? And these Edomites are mad. They hot. Because their empire going down. And also they come to the realization that the same people that they were voting for and cheering for and loving on, they don't give a damn about them. So you don't think all this is going, you see that hyperinflation coming. So you don't think this going to add to the Civil War? Yeah, okay. I had to put that out there.
Okay? First prediction, of course, is that the U.S. will use ground troops. Because using ground troops will create a national draft. And what does a national draft do? It creates a civil war. Right? A lot of young people are going to refuse to fight in this war. And this is going to create protests. Then America will have no choice but to deploy the National Guard. And this will create the recipe for a lot of civil conflict in America. Okay? Another thing that will happen is because you use ground troops, you will lose the war, and then CENTCOM, which is the American military in the Middle East, will then transfer over to Israel.
Okay, so he has a bit of a different theory on that one. He says, yes, there will be a draft implemented, but that draft implementation is not because we're actually going to use the soldiers in Iran. I mean, of course we will. We'll definitely do that. But it's going to kill two birds with one stone in that it's going to create civil unrest here in the United States because people will protest against a draft. And when there's that civil unrest and the National Guard is deployed onto the population, and you saw a taste of that with the ICE deployments in Minnesota, 2 Americans dead, and massive amount of civil unrest. Now, you think that level of civil unrest, you might have said, well, that was just a bunch of liberals who don't like to follow the law. I can't wait for Americans to keep on with that narrative when it's not illegals who've crossed into America who are, raping our children, which is what the narrative has been amongst those that wanted to get rid of all of the illegals in the country. Not saying they're wrong on wanting to remove people who are here illegally, but the narrative that they have is very hostile. Like, it's rather than just, well, we just want to make sure people follow the law, it's, we have to paint them into evil, like more evil than many of them really truly are. And that same narrative will be pushed on, but this time on Americans. It will be those young men who are draft dodgers. Ironically, Donald Trump is one, but they'll still say, oh, they're a bunch of draft dodgers. Look at those draft dodgers. They just need to get out there and fight for America. These are anti-Americans. They shouldn't even be citizens. They're so anti-American. But we have to throw them at a war. I mean, the narrative is going to become extremely hostile. And it's going to be hostile American against American. It won't be illegals against Americans. It'll be Americans against Americans. And the rhetoric will ramp up, and you'll see a lot of them bots online who are actually the IDF's cyber units that are out there trying to stir this unrest and trying to get people to think that young men who don't want to serve in the war are evil anti-American, anti-Semites. And so he's saying that this will actually be used to foment the Civil War, that once the Civil War gets going, then you're starting to implement Steve Bannon and Miriam Adelson and Alan Dershowitz's plan, which is to have Trump serve a third term. And that is really the only way to get a president into a third term. We do change presidents even during time of war. So war with Iran is not enough to keep a president in power. You would need a civil war. You would need something America hasn't seen. And they're trying to foment that here by using these tactics that both Tucker Carlson and now Professor Zhang have stated here. Now you might think, oh, that's crazy. Well, here is the Trump and Pete Hegseth being asked about this National Guard Quick Reaction Force, which is trained for crowd control and civil unrest.
Insurrection.
Watch this.
Secretary Hegseth, sir, a memo circulating on social media details the establishment of a National Guard response force that's going to be trained in crowd control and civil unrest and deployed in all 50 states by April of 2026. Can you verify the authenticity of that memo, and do you have any more information on the operations?
I'm not going to answer particulars on something that may be in the planning process, but we definitely do have multiple layers of National Guard response forces, whether it's in each state, whether it's regionally, whether it's Title 10 active duty, whether it's Washington, D.C. We've got a lot of different ways that constitutionally and legally we can employ Title 10 and Title 32 forces, and we will do so when necessary.
Okay, so they were asked this question around March 3rd, March 4th. That's when that was asked. And he was kind of vague on that. Well, we're not going to really specify. Well, now it has been confirmed. This is from the U.S. Department of War website. This was published March 10th. The 260th Special Purpose Brigade activated to strengthen security in the nation's capital. The District Columbia National Guard activated the 260th Special Purpose Brigade at the D.C. Armory March 7th. It is the only brigade in the Army specifically designed to coordinate military support to civil authorities and protect critical infrastructure in the nation's capital. So the goal is to support public safety operations and to strengthen coordination between military forces and civilian security partners in the district. So it is for activation on American soil is what that is for. So it's been confirmed that they do have these quick reaction force, these National Guard quick reaction forces ready to go to basically quell civil unrest. The good old days. Remember this?
My honest guidance to those young men, and I think their concerns are very legitimate, but if you're worried about the world spinning out of control, if you're worried about a military draft, if you're worried about, God forbid, a world war, the best way to prevent it is to vote for Donald Trump.
All of your sons and daughters will end up getting a draft notice, a thing called a draft. Dad, what's this? Oh, congratulations, you've been drafted into the military. You're going to fight a war against a country that nobody's ever heard of. Isn't it true? Isn't it ridiculous?
So I've had this issue with my Mustang GT where I brake above 50 miles an hour, my steering wheel would shake violently, and my guess is the
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it is actually ridiculous, Trump, and you are the president of the United States right now, and yet your administration is actively discussing a draft. That is what is being reported, that the White House is actively considering implementing a draft for this war. I would hope, but it's not the case, that Congress would have to declare war first before the president could enact a draft. But we haven't declared war since, what, 1941 or 42, something around then, right? World War II. And yet we implemented the draft for Vietnam, which apparently wasn't a war. Here's Lindsey.
Graham, that's his name. But yeah, that's it, man. I'll put the rest of this video in the description box. You know, so it's coming.
Graham, he's not even, he's Lindsey Graham's pretending like he's going to ask.
Up to our allies, step up, get our air bases out of Spain. They're not reliable. Move all those airplanes to a country that would let us use them when we're threatened by a regime like Iran. To our friends in Spain, man, you have lost your way. I don't want to do business with you anymore. I want our air bases out of Spain into a country that will let us use them. To our Arab friends, I've tried to help you.
Anyway, we reported on that the other day. He's just another sucker. But yeah, I just wanted to hit this real quick through the spinning part. How about Shema? Shall I stay prayed for the names of how about Shema? Shah Shalom.